here we are. We are here to talk about Raise Your Hand marketing. What is Raise Your Hand marketing? How does it work? And how can you benefit from it? The whole point here with marketing is to really understand that being the lifeblood of any business, and what Raise Your Hand marketing does is change the way we look at marketing. It'll change the way that you focus on your marketing. And really the biggest goal during this is to help you understand exactly what it takes to generate far more leads for your business, far more potential business coming into your business. So how do we do that? What do we got to do to make that actually a reality? Well, first of all, let's understand what is marketing. My definition of marketing, when I wrote the book, Buying Customers, quite some time back, it really had people changing their methodology of how they focused on marketing. That marketing was the process of buying customers. And so the definition is really the profitable buying of lifetime customers. So we don't just want a singular transaction. We want that long-term transaction from every single customer. And so the whole aim of marketing is to work out how many customers do we need to buy and where are we going to go with that. Now, there's lifetime value of a customer. Most businesses don't work out the lifetime value of a customer. So if a customer buys from you for on average, and again, you can't take the best and you can't take the worst, you've got to take the average. If on average, let's say a customer stays with you for 2 years or 3 years or however long that is, and if on average they invest $100 a month, so $1,200 a year for 2 years, they're worth $2,400 to you as in gross sales. Now, some customers are worth a lot more, some are worth a lot less, but the challenge is coming back to what are they worth on average to you over their lifetime. Now, the profitable part of buying customers is what turns marketing into an investment. When you test and measure, and if you want to learn more about test and measuring, read Buying Customers. But when you test and measure, what you find out is how much it costs you to buy a customer. So if I spend $1,000 on an ad campaign and that $1,000 yielded me 10 new customers, it might have bought me 100 prospects, but 10 new customers, then each customer cost me $100 to buy. And that's in essence what we're looking at. And so here with Raise Your Hand marketing, our goal is to create a methodology for people to actually get more lifetime customers at a much more cost-effective methodology. So where does that take us? Well, what we first of all have to understand is how do we get a lifetime value out of a customer? And we do that by gaining their loyalty. Now, the ladder of loyalty works out this way. And when you look at the bottom of the ladder, it's really about marketing. That suspect or target audience, the target market, we'll get more into that in a little while. But that suspect is really the potential customer. And our job as marketers is to go to all of the suspects out there, the potential audience, the target audience. Our job as a marketer is to go to that target audience and get them to, in essence, raise their hand, get them to become a prospect, get that target audience to say, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing. Hey, that interests me. And I'll get to some examples of this in a little while. If any of you wanted to take a screenshot of some of your social media, I'll take a look at some of them later and actually teach you how to do it in your particular scenario. So what we want to do is get them to identify themselves as a prospect. We want them to raise their hand. Now, what did you do by attending this webinar today? You raised your hand. You said, I'm interested in marketing. I'm interested in helping growing my business. I'm interested in getting more customers. So you've raised your hand and said, essentially, I'm interested in this. Now, what we do then, and someone could be downloading an ebook somewhere. Someone could be watching another video. Someone could be making a phone call, booking a call. Someone could be typing a word or responding to a social media post. All of these things, all of these actions by a prospect is where you get that prospect to raise their hand and essentially say, I'm interested. And that's really where we start this whole process, is by saying, okay, I've got to get them to raise their hand. Now, most marketing that I see today is not about raising your hand. Most marketing that you and I see is really about getting people to make a purchase immediately. Now, the problem with that is that if you were to compare that to, I don't know, meeting a partner, like if I was to meet a girl at a bar and I walked over to her and I said, hey, we should get married. I think you're very good at, you look like you'd be good at raising children. We should get married on the first moment we met. That would just be stupid. What we have to do as marketers is at least buy our prospects a drink first, at least get to find out they're interested, or at least invite them to dinner, a coffee type thing. Can we have a coffee? We don't have to get married on the first occasion. And so most of our marketing really is about identifying people who are interested and then farming. I see too much hunting going on in marketing and not enough farming going on in marketing. And so that hunt for finding the exact right person who's ready to buy now, who has the money, that hunt is very difficult. If we look at a group of 10 prospects for any business, on average of a group of 10 prospects for any business, 4 won't be interested at all right now. Okay, so you take out 4. Out of the remaining 6, 2 of the 6 will be interested at some point. 2 of the 6 will be interested in the near future, and 2 of the 6 will be interested now. So out of 10 good prospects, 2 out of 10 or 20% are ready now, 40% are ready at some point in the future. And so we've got to make sure that we're doing marketing that gets those who are ready at some point in the future as well. So what we need to do with that prospect is get a first transaction. That first singular transaction with the prospect turns them into a shopper. They're not a customer yet. We'll get to more on that. Now, we're going to spend most of our time today on that bottom section, suspect to prospect. We'll get to these others in other webinars that we do. But the shopper is the one-time buyer. No loyalty. They're not. They're not. And so when you go from a shopper, you become a customer. And the word customer is very important because it's where someone becomes accustomed to doing business. They're used to your customs. Okay, they like your prices, they like your thing. Like if it was a restaurant, they'd have a favorite meal or a favorite drink. They've come back. They know where the bathrooms are. They don't have to ask again. They know that system sort of thing. They've gotten used to it. They've done a second transaction. And too many businesses think, oh, I've got them as a customer when they've done one transaction. No, if you've done one transaction, you don't have loyalty. One transaction makes them a shopper. They will move around to business after business. Once you get a second, you start some loyalty. Third, fourth is generally where you have real loyalty. Once you get a 4th transaction with a customer, okay? So you've got to make sure you're looking at that. Now, ultimately, to get that lifetime value, we need to get past customer to being a member. A member is where they feel like they belong. Remember, I'm just teaching you this because I want you to understand lifetime value. We're going to spend most of our day today down the bottom there in the suspect and prospect area where it's about getting leads to connect with us and doing that. By the way, remember this, marketing is about getting them to come to you, not you going to them. So going and door knocking or going and networking, that's not really marketing, that's sales. We're doing marketing here where they come to us en masse, we get them coming to us. So, by the way, at the end of the day today, I'm going to have an offer for each of you. Some of you will want coaching. Some of you will want to do some learning. Some of you will just want books, whatever it is. I've got free offers for you. I got expensive offers for you. Well, not really expensive. They're just large investments. Whatever level you're at, we will have something for you. If you just want free, great. We'll give you the free. If you want to invest a bunch of money, we'll get you to invest a bunch of money. Whatever level you need for your learning to continue, we've got something for you. So I want to help you make that decision during the day today. I don't care if it's just free because I'm just doing what I'm teaching you here, doing more farming, keep people and help them learn more about you because people have to, once you've got them curious, and that's what really raising your hand is, once you've got them curious, you've got to build up their desire, the old formula, AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action. There's many different ways to use that formula, but essentially what we're doing with raising their hand is we're sparking their interest and then we're sparking their attention. Then we got to build their interest and desire and eventually we'll get attention. Now, once they feel like they belong, then they start to refer you to other people. Then they start to give you referrals. Once they start giving you referrals, we call them an advocate. Once they're an advocate, we then obviously want to have some form of relationship with them. And once there's a relationship with that advocate, once there's a personal connection, they become a raving fan. Until there's a personal connection, it's rare that they become a raving fan of your business. So that's the lifetime value end of what we're looking at here, okay? Let's get back to the front end of this, the profitable buying of those lifetime customers. So what do we want them to do? We want them to raise their hand. And raising their hand is where they self-identify. I'm interested. I'm interested in buying. I'm interested in finding out more. I'm interested in learning. I'm interested in what you do. I'm interested in becoming a customer at some point. People have to raise their hand. Now, to get them to raise their hand, we got to give them some reason to raise their hand. We got to give them an offer. We got to give them a thing. We got to give them a methodology to raise their hand. And we'll get more into that detail in just a moment. But if you think about what you're doing as a marketer, what you're doing as a marketer is you're getting people to say, I am interested in what it is you have to sell. I am interested in the product or service of what you're doing. And that's really an important aspect of understanding. It is not about making a sale. Marketing is not about, can we make this sale right now? Marketing is not about, can we get people to buy straight away in this day and age? Now, there are places where that works, but rarely. You used to see a lot more marketing like that, but I just don't see it anymore. Our goal is to raise your hand and say, I'm interested. Now, some people could go from raise your hand to buying instantaneously, but most people will need some form of nurturing or that sort of thing. So once they have self-identified, what our goal is to not make a sale, but to make a conversation. So if you think about it, when you raised your hand and said, I'm interested in this webinar, when you raised your hand and said, I'm interested in learning about raise your hand marketing, one of my team would have sent you a message. One of my team would have communicated with you. One of my team would have sent you a link. They would have started a conversation with you. The conversation continues. You come and join us on this webinar. You watch the replay of the webinar and the conversation continues. And so our goal is to open a conversation with people in the beginning. If your goal is to immediately make a sale, a lot of the times you miss the whole thing of doing business with people that are interested because they just don't do it. They don't respond because it's too big a leap. They wanted to have a coffee first and you wanted to get married. No, your customer base wants to learn about your business. And so when I look at people's websites, their websites don't have many start conversations offers. They're mostly buy this or buy that. There's no, hey, if you're interested, join our newsletter, or there's very little, hey, here's a white paper you can download. Here's an ebook you can get. And so as with the philosophy or the idea to start a conversation, I'll give you an example. On my LinkedIn just recently, someone sent me a thing and they wanted a connection. So we connected on LinkedIn. What do you think the first thing I got from them was? Was it a gift? Nope, not a gift. Not a, hey, thanks for connecting. Here's a gift. Really appreciate you connecting with me. No, it was a, hey, can we sell you stuff? It was just such craziness. Like if I'm networking and I walk into a networking situation, I don't walk into a networking situation trying to make a sale. I walk in there trying to start conversations with people. And the same has to happen for all of the marketing that we're doing today. How do we start conversations with people? How do you get people to communicate with you and start it? So what we look at, let's break marketing down. Marketing is 3 phases. Who is the target audience? What is the offer? And what is the copy? The target audience, when we think about target audience in this, I want to break it down for you in a slightly different manner than most. Stephen R. Covey, not Stephen M.R. Covey, Covey Sr. said, begin with the end in mind. So when we think about your target audience, that is the end. That is the beginning with the end in mind. Who is your target audience? Now, the first question I have for you, and this is where I'm going to start to get you to answer me in the chat window, okay? And by the way, thanks for typing in where you're at. It's good to see we are all across the world. We are from Australia to Sweden. We are to Africa. We are everywhere in the world today, and it is a phenomenal thing. Canadian team is on here, the UK, Warwickshire. There you go. Mexico is on here. Wichita, Kansas, Lincolnshire. Malawi is on the call. Thank you, everyone, for typing that in. The Isle of Man. Hey, Mark, how you doing? San Fran. Mark is in France. Good. Iowa's on the call. So here's my question for you, okay? How many new customers do you want per week, okay, or per month? Type it in per week or per month. How many new customers, or even per day? Now, the one answer, and I'm sure someone's already typed this and hit send before I said this. The one answer I do not want to see is as many as I can get. That is the dumbest, stupidest answer that ever comes up when I ask this question. How many do you want? Now, I'm going to preface this with, you need to be able to sustainably, continuously get that many customers onboarded professionally, profitably, perfectly, with great customer service every day or every week, every month for the entire year. Like someone just wrote in there 5 per day. Thanks, Glenn. Now, can you, Glenn, do this? And I want you to answer me, Glenn. Can you do this? Could you do 5 per day every single day, 365 or however many days you're open for the year? Can you do 5 per day and continue that level of growth again and again and again and again? I want everyone to think about this because, like, you know, Gretchen said 70 per week. So Gretchen, can you handle 70 brand new customers every week? For week after week after week after week after week. Okay? Yeah, Glenn, okay, you went for day rather than week. Yeah, so 5 per week would be good. Okay? And it keeps coming back to a very simple thing. I learned this when I had my dog food business. We could handle 60 brand new customers, no more than 60. And if we had less than 60, we didn't use our assets properly. But if we kept getting 60 per week, we would burn ourselves out. So we had to think about how we did that, you know, and it's what you've got to keep doing is saying to myself, how many can I onboard properly, professionally, persistently, and do it week in, week out, every week for the rest of time? Now, let's imagine, and I'm just going to pick a number here just for the sake of it. Let's imagine your number was 10 per week, okay? Let's just use that number just because it's a round number and it's easy for us to all understand. If I said I wanted 10 new customers per week, now here's the biggest aha you're going to get in the first part of this session, okay? If you haven't already got some ahas. By the way, when you get a BFO, a blinding flash of the obvious, an aha moment, a big lesson, I want you to type it into the chat window. What is your big lessons as you go through this? And yes, feel free to type in questions. I'll get to the questions at the end of the session today, along with making you that offer for the other free stuff and the other stuff that you can invest in. All right. Big aha moment. If you can get 10 customers per week, 10 members, 10 clients, whatever you refer to your customers as, 10 patients, if you could onboard 10 of them per week, week in, week out for the rest of time, I want you to put this word in front, okay? Only. We can only accept 10 new customers per week. If your number is 2, we can only take on 2 new clients per month. Whatever your number is, I want you to use the word only. Yes, sorry, we can only take on 2 new customers a month. This month is fully sold out. We can bring you on next month, though, or I can put you on the wait list for next month. The word only is so important in marketing. It is one of the most important words you will ever get, because without scarcity, there is no reason to take action. Without scarcity, there is no reason for anyone to do anything, okay? So what's the word? Type it in for me. What is the word you're going to use now? I can only, like John, you've got up there 3 per week, average 3 per month presently. So John, you've got 3 per week. I can only accept 3 new customers per week. This is what we're looking for. The word is only, and I want you to think of everything you do from here on out as an only focus, all right? So we begin with the end in mind. How many new customers? I can only accept this many new customers per day, per week, per month. You can get that, okay? And if you get that in your head that we can only accept that, then everybody is applying to become a customer. Everyone is applying to get on your wait list. Everyone is applying to do that. You want to be sold out mentally. It's the way you want to position your business. It's the way you want to do it. Now, when people say, well, Brad, if I said I can only accept 3 a month and I get 7, do I accept all 7? No, you want a waiting list. It is important as a marketer to have a waiting list. See, look at that, Mark. You can only have one new client per month. That just changes your whole perspective. All of your social media now, Mark, becomes, listen, I only accept one new client per month, and I'm looking for that new client. If you know anyone who's interested in this, let me know. There's a waiting list, but I can definitely look at starting them in March or in August or in whatever month it's going to be type thing. All right, so we've got the first BFO, blinding flash of the obvious. Let's get into this target audience thing. There are 4 ways I'm going to teach you to define your target audience out there in the marketplace. The first one is the target audience group. I'll use me for an example, ActionCOACH. We do business coaching. One of the groups we coach a lot is the medical industry, doctors, dentists, chiropractors, podiatrists, anyone in the medical industry. We coach a lot of people in that profession. So that would be one group of mine, might be dentists. Okay. Now, I don't want to just say business owners because that's crazy. And I don't want to just say dentists. I want to say dental practices that have a minimum of 3 dentists working there, that have a minimum revenue of $1 million a year. So I want to get very specific around the group. Now, in most cases, I would suggest you want to come up with at least 20 groups that you want to target. And again, not business owners, you know, that's just, for me at ActionCOACH, if I was to target business owners, imagine how big my marketing would have to be to target business owners. All I want to target is dentists who live within 10 miles of me, that have a minimum of 3 employees and do a minimum of $1 million a year. That list I can come up with and I can do great marketing to, okay? And I want to get that group of dentists to what? That's right, raise their hand. Okay, so you want to think of groups for your business. Someone type in your business and I'll try and work some groups out for you. Okay, so type in what business you're in and I'll help you with some groups. I'll give you another example. One of my businesses is a food truck business, and we do a catering. We're not really a food truck in the sense of the word, we're a catering business. And so we want businesses that have 100 employees that do lunches in their business. So if it's a business that does 100 employees or more, that does lunches at their place of work, we want to know who they are. So we're targeted. So, all right, we got a golf center, we got property development, wellness advocacy, we got acupuncture, we got a fitness coach. Okay, fitness coach, let me deal with that one, Samuel. So if you're a fitness coach, the average marketer would say, I want to coach people aged between 25 and 45, and I want to do, you know, that sort of thing. No. I want you to break it right down. I want you to think about it. I want to work with moms who work from home part-time. You know, I want to deal with the parents of students at this particular school who work from home. So you break it right down into the smallest possible group that you've got, you know, so that's what we're looking for, that small possible group. Steve's got mortgages. So you look at that, Steve, and you say, do you want first-time home buyers in a particular suburb? Do you want those who are refinancing? You know, you've got to be targeted into the group that you want. I want single people that are going for a mortgage, or I want couples that are going for a mortgage. The more targeted you get, the easier your marketing is. Excellent. Thanks for typing all of those in, gang. That was great. Bifold doors. We can look at that one later, Lewis. All right, so the second way we're going to find your target audience is by looking at the problem your target audience is experiencing. So like Steve with his mortgages, maybe the problem is that they cannot get refinance on their house. Maybe if we look at the personal training, sorry, I forget who was it that had personal training. Or the fitness coach. Samuel, that's right. Samuel, you had the fitness coach. The problem is they can't get their body back in shape after a baby. Or the problem is they sit down at work too much and therefore, or. So you've got to look at what is the problem that your target audience faces and come up with a list of at least 10 problems. Each target audience, you want to come up with a list of problems that they face. So for me as a business coach with ActionCOACH, Maybe someone's problem is they can't hire good people. Okay, they can't find the right people. They can't hire people type thing. Maybe their problem is that they're struggling with their cash flow. And so they're the problems. Now, on the flip side of that, the next way we're going to target your target audience is the benefits you provide. So Samuel, again, in your fitness business, your benefit might be something along the lines of, I help people achieve their, if you want to finish a marathon, if you want to cut that last 5 pounds type thing. Maybe it's, I get people back to health and fitness, So look at the benefits of what you do. For me as a business coach, maybe it's working less hours. Maybe it's not having the stress of being a business owner. Maybe it's finding great people to run your company for you. And so maybe with mortgages with Steve, the benefit is, if you're looking for a mortgage that's approved in the fastest time, if you want a mortgage with, so we're looking at the benefits of what we do. So again, look at each target audience and think of the benefits that they want of what you're selling. So what we're going to do with all of those, we're going to use them to find target audiences, right? Here's how we're going to do that. Oh, actually, here's the fourth area. Sorry, I forgot to do the fourth one. The fourth one is that we're going to reverse engineers. The benefits can be the opposite of the problem. Yes, Samuel, the benefits can be the opposite of the problem in many cases. It's just wording it differently, okay? What is their problem can be worded as their benefit as well if you word it differently. So the fourth thing you're going to do is you're going to go to Google, right? And you're going to go to look at the Google algorithms, and you're going to go to Google and say, okay, Google, I need you to teach me some stuff. Now, Google has this amazing program where they will teach you as much as they possibly can. So Google, it's called Google Analytics, right? You go to Google Analytics and you type in what you think people will be searching for. So you type in the problem, and that's what they're searching for. Google will then tell you what are the other 10 things or 20 things that people are searching for that are like that. In fact, some of them will be searched for more often than the problem you listed. Then you type in the benefits and into Google Analytics, and it says, oh, here's the benefits. Here's the other things people are searching for. You type in your group, okay? For me, it would be, how to grow your dentist business. And Google will tell me 10 or 20 other things that people are searching for that are similar to what I'm doing. Now, once I've got this list, and my list is probably going to be 100, 200 things long, a group of people, problems, reverse engineer the problems, benefits, reverse engineer the benefits. I'm going to have a list of about 100 things, right? Now, these are my targets, or they're ways to get my target audience to raise their hand. This is how I'm going to get my target audience to raise their hand. These problems, I'm going to provide a solution to these problems, and that solution is going to get them to raise their hand. I'm going to promise these benefits if they raise their hand. How do we do that? Well, that's where we come to your offer, okay? So what is the offer? The offer is anything. It could be an ebook. You could write an ebook. See, Samuel could write an ebook around how to lose that last 10 pounds. John's manufacturing of dispensing systems. There's so many different ways that we could do this. Indoor air quality for Mark. You could easily write an ebook on indoor air quality and have people raise their hand because they're interested in the book. You can write articles. Now, stay with me. I'm going to teach you how to do this in a minute, but I'm going to give you the list first, all right? You could write articles on this stuff. Your blog posts could be an offer, and we'll get to more on how to make your blogs an offer. But let's imagine, in fact, let's go back a screen. Let's imagine you had a problem, and you went to that problem. You said, what if I made this problem a solution? What if the problem was how to lose your last 10 pounds? And I wrote the article in my blog called How to Lose Your Last 10 Pounds, okay? So here we are with saying, all right, what are we going to do with this stuff? Every single time we create something, a competition could be run to get people to raise their hand. What else can we do? Here's another list. You could get people you can write a white paper similar to an ebook, just a different target audience. It's more technical in most cases. You could create a guide for what you do. You can create a video about what it is the problem. Let's imagine Samuel creates a video about, the fastest ways to get your body back after having a baby, if that's one of his target audiences, right? You can create an infographic, and the infographic could be, like for me as a business coach, free infographic, the 6 keys to building a winning team. Now, who's going to want an infographic about the 6 keys to building a winning team? Anyone that's trying to build a winning team is going to. So business people that are trying to build a winning team. So if I was selling a team building program, and the team building program, and I would say, here's the free infographic, 6 keys to a winning team, download now. The people download that, or they type in team, and I get them the infographic, and then I've got a conversation happening. We'll get to more how to make that happen in just a moment. I can run an event, or like a webinar. Hey, what am I doing right now? I could give a recording. Once this webinar is finished, do you think I can use the recording to get people to say, hey, just finished a webinar on Raise Your Hand Marketing. If you're interested in getting more leads in your business, type webinar below or type marketing below, and we'll send you a copy of the recording. By the way, notice I'm not just posting the recording. I'm asking you to raise your hand to be allowed to get the link to the recording. If I just post the link, I don't know who went and watched it, so I don't have any conversations happening. I want to get my suspects to identify themselves, so I say, if you type the word marketing below, I'll send you the link. Maybe some of you are cottoning on to what happened to you when you registered for this webinar, right? So I could use a marketing piece. Any marketing piece can be turned into an offer of some sort. The newsletter, if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, click here type thing. So, by the way, if any of you are not on our newsletter and you want to get on our newsletter, email the word newsletter or just type the word newsletter in here. I'll make sure going to get you on our newsletter. Every week I send out 6 tips. What else can your offer be? A webinar, a real live seminar, a podcast. And instead of, again, I was just on a podcast this morning. I recorded a podcast with team in the real estate business. And hey, presto, I'm on that podcast. By the way, you'll notice what just happened. I said, type in the word newsletter. Samuel raised his hand. Glenn has raised his hand. So we keep learning this. I'm showing you what I do. I don't try and hide anything. I'm telling you blunt as day. This is what I do to make this stuff work. So that podcast I was on this morning, when that comes out, I will do a post on social media. I will put it up something along the lines of, hey, amazing podcast I was just interviewed on. Question 4 about how to double your response and your conversion rate in sales was phenomenal. If you want a link to the podcast, type the word podcast below. Now, why else do I want them to type the word podcast below? In fact, let's see who gets this answer first. Why do I want them to type the word below when I'm posting it on, say, Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn? Why do I want someone to type below every single time rather than just send me a message or rather than just here's the link and go get it? I want them to type below for several specific reasons. Number 1 reason, yes, it shows they read it. Number 2 reason, it raised their hand, it starts a conversation. Very nice. And once they've typed, guess what I can do? Once they've typed, I can then actually message them. It allows me, some of them allow me to then do direct message them. So Shafia just got it. It boosts the post. Every time there's interactions, and you just got it. When there's interactions, the post gets boosted. If I get 70 comments on a post, all of a sudden that level of engagement, the algorithm kicks in and boom, every time they type the word, by the way, and you will have noticed this if you joined this from one of my social media posts, you will have typed the word webinar or marketing or whatever it was we were asking you to type in. One of my team would have written back to you. So you comment, we comment back to you. All of a sudden now there's 2 comments. Then another person comments, then you comment, and so on and so on and so on. Interviews are huge. We do a lot of interviews. Those of you who are on the newsletter will get you on there. It's amazing what happens when there's interest shown. When someone sees others show interest, they want to show interest. Interviews, when I go and do interviews, you know, for example, my coaches in ActionCOACH, they go and interview business owners and they turn that interview into a thing about how to succeed in business. They turn it into a blog post. They turn it into a newsletter. They take that interview and make it an offer. Hey, just interviewed Mary at XYZ Business on how she survived the COVID and how she's grown her business and doubled during COVID. If you'd like a copy of the interview, type the word interview below. You know, not that hard. Now, the final one, which is the easiest one in the world, like I see people trying to build YouTube channels and they're just using their own material. Do you know what you can do on YouTube? Some of the most interactive videos I have on YouTube are not me. Like I do Throwback Thursday. I go and get Jim Rohn, who was one of my early mentors. I go and get Zig Ziglar. I go and get Stephen Covey. I go and get these people on Throwback Thursday. And boom, the number of people that comment on a Jim Rohn video, I didn't even have to do the video. It's not me. It's other people's stuff. How easy does it make my life? Do you think that if whatever you're searching for, whatever your prospects are searching for, do you think there's already articles about this? Hey, just read this amazing article on how to get new employees up in a post-COVID world. If you're interested, type the word employee below and I'll get you a copy of the article. Anyone else getting excited by this stuff yet? I love this stuff. Marketing is so good. I'm writing this as a book, by the way. So when the book comes out, if you want to get it, I'll make sure I get you a link to the book. So this is what we're creating an offer, right? Finally, we have to go to the call to action. Okay. Yes. See, everyone's writing the word employee. I didn't even read that article. I was just giving you an example. That's how well raise your hand works. Once you get people raising their hand, they love raising their hand type thing. So it's a lot of fun in this way to do it. All right. So the call to action, this is where you're asking people to take action. Okay. This is where you're asking people to respond to the marketing. So the way we do that in any marketing piece is we don't just put the article up there. We don't just post a thing. We actually use an example. We ask them to email us, okay? We ask them to give a comment. And usually I like to tell them what word I want them to comment with so I know exactly what they're saying. I ask them to DM me, like on Instagram, I want them to DM me. I want them to send me a message because then it opens up my ability to DM them back type thing. I want them to book a call, or if they're over 50, I ask them to make a phone call type thing. You know, we know that no one under the age of 30 is going to make a phone call. They might book a phone call. They'll never make one. They'll text, they'll DM, they'll WhatsApp me. They'll do all of those sorts of things rather than do it. So to give you a simple way of thinking about this, when I did a post about this webinar, you can do all the fancy stuff in the world, but I went to Facebook, went to my phone, and you know how on your phone you can go to Facebook and you can type in a thing and you go here. This is, I type in a word, and instead of typing in a normal thing, I go, let me do the picture one. Let me do the one where it makes a background color on it. And there's my background color. You can all see that sort of thing. So then I type in the words. Hey, just read this great article on employing people in a post-COVID world. If you're interested, type employee below. I type that in. I take a screenshot of it, and I put it up as a picture on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my LinkedIn, on all the things, on Pinterest, on you name it. I put it up there. And so I get people to comment and say employee, and then all of a sudden, but I have to begin with the end in mind. I have to know what I'm selling first. I would only do that if I had like an employee program I was trying to sell. You know, if I had something in that range that I'm trying to sell, then I work backwards from that material. Like if I'm trying to sell someone a leadership training course, I'll do an ebook on leadership type thing. You know, the 10 most important factors of leadership in a post-COVID world. You know, how great leaders can stop the great resignation. 7 important steps. I'd write that ebook and then I post it up there. If you're interested, do that. So people who are interested in leadership raise their hand. I can then sell them the leadership training program. Does that make sense? So you've got to look at what you're trying to sell, how many of them you're trying to sell, and then you use the groups, the problems, the benefits, and the reverse engineering to find those groups and to change the way they react. Now, once they've responded, you want to automate as much of it as you can, okay? Automate. So if I say to you, type in the word, employee below, or DM me the word employee, oftentimes on some of these software platforms, like Instagram, if someone DMs me the word marketing, it can automatically reply to them directly with a straight message straight back to them. They'd set up, if someone says the word marketing, you reply with this. Or if you can't automate it, you can human automate it. You can have a virtual assistant or 2 or 3 virtual assistants who follow it up and make sure they send it immediately. Oftentimes the follow-up, I want to send them to a link, okay? I want to link them to something else. Like for you, you were linked to this webinar when you signed up type thing. Ultimately, I want to get their email. So I might send them the link and then say, oh, by the way, I have a free report on this as well. Shoot me your email and I'll send you the free report. Now for you, remember when you signed up to this webinar, you went to Webinar Jam and you typed in your name and email address. So we get your email, you're on our database. Because ultimately we don't just want people on our social databases. And I want to define social databases, which by the way, I am running a full 2-day course on digital marketing. It's $2,000 to attend per person. If you're interested, type the word digital. This is for real. If you're interested in coming to my 2-day digital marketing one, it's $2,000 to attend. Type the word digital in there and the team will get you the information. Now, I want to get their email because I want to get them off of social media. Like, I remember when, I go back probably 8-9 years, Facebook, I built it to 130,000 followers. I was getting 10 to 20,000 interactions per day, 10 to 20,000 interactions per day. Overnight, Facebook turned off that whole thing and my 130,000 followers on there didn't get to see me anymore. Like I was getting 40 responses to a thing where I used to get 10 to 20,000 to a thing. It's crazy. Thanks, Grant, for typing in digital. Anyone else who wants that info, please type in the word digital. So what's our goal? Once we get into communication, we want to either make a sale, like connect them to a link where they can make the sale. We want to communicate a few times and then get them to buy, or we want them to book a phone call so we can get on the phone and make the sale with them. So we want to book a call or make a sale, book a call or make a sale. It's what we're trying to do. Thanks, Glenn, for typing in digital. The team will get you the information. Once we get onto this thing of booking a call or making a sale, booking a call or making a sale, we know that that's a goal of our communication. Our communication is opened, and now we need to do 1 or 2 things. Step it up, get them on the phone, so it's no longer just a text message or an email or something. Now it becomes a live human interaction. We're scaling up the communication. Like for you and me here today, I invited you on a webinar, so you come on the webinar and all of a sudden now I've increased the scale of our communication. It's no longer just an email or a message or a DM. It's now a human interaction. You're seeing me on camera and we're having a great session together for the day, all right? So I'm either trying to book a call or make the sale. Orhan, good to have you on there. Nathaniel, good to have you on there for the digital. The team will get you the information. Now, other things if you want information on it. 90 days to revolutionize your life. This is my 90-day training program. You've spent what do we hear? 40 minutes together, 45 minutes together here today. In fact, I think the team even has an offer on this one. Team, is there an offer on this one? That have we extended the Easter offer? Where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. Got it. See, you don't have to be a genius at this stuff to do it. If you want to join us for my 90-day training program, there's the 90-day training program link. And the Easter offer has been extended. The Easter offer was for 90% off for 90 days. So it's like $300 or some ridiculous number for the Easter offer to our internal lot. So if you want that, come get it. It's 30 minutes a day. For 90 days, it's 30 days on business, 30 days on life, and 30 days on wealth. Okay, so dive on that one. Click the link so you've at least got it. Everyone on here, please click the link so you've at least got it. You don't have to buy it, but at least you've got something. You can read it. You can understand what it is we're doing and how we are doing it. Okay, I'm going to remove that. So if you haven't clicked it, click it now so that I can remove it. All right, where is the one that I'm looking for? Oh, the books. Someone's just asked me about the books here. Here's where you get all the books. You go and buy all my books, all 17 of them. 18, Raise Your Hand Marketing will be out soon. Yes, I'm getting the questions. If you do have questions about any of this stuff, type it in. Okay. Yes, we extended. Thank you, Gona, for confirming we extended the Easter offer. Even if we didn't, I just said we did, so we're going to have to. That's the way it works when you're the boss, I guess. So yeah, there's the books. Click on that so you've at least got it. I'll be removing that in 5 seconds. And final one, my ultimate training, my university. The university is 4 courses a year about growing a business, investing in real estate, living a purposeful life, and buying and investing in companies. Click that one if you want it. Well, click all of them so you've at least got it on your screen and you can go back to it at any time. Questions, start typing them in. That would be great. We will go to all questions. So yeah, that's the 90 Days to Revolutionize. That's my university, the 4 programs in the university. Let me fix that so that if you haven't clicked the university, do that now, and we will get to questions about any of this stuff. All right. Nathaniel, how much the university? Click the link, buddy. I know the team has a deal. It's normally $6,000 per event. I know there was an Easter deal, so I'm sure the team will have put that on there for you. You missed the 90-day link. Gona, could you put the 90-day link back up, please? Gretchen missed the 90-day link. Thank you, Gona. Appreciate it very much. All right, questions. The recordings. Yes, there will be a recording, Ethan. You'll be sent the link to that from this whole webinar jam thing. Okay, and you can share it with others. And in fact, Gona, can you let me know, we'll put this on YouTube, Gona, as well? Is that what we'll do with it? I know that normally Gona uses all this stuff. She's in charge of all my social media and stuff, so she would know better than I do where it is going to be put. All right, let's go to questions. If you have a question, please type it in so that I can answer as many questions as I can. If any of you have a social media like your Facebook or your LinkedIn and you want to put that into the chat, put a link to your Facebook or social media in the chat, I will take a look at them and I will see if I can change up some of your posts for you and get better results. What do we got left? We got 11 minutes left to do any questions and anything that we need to get on to. All right, so thanks, Shafir. First question on this page. How much time would you leave between each campaign? So between your target to a dentist and then your target to a doctor's, or would you run them at the same time? Shafir, we would run them all at the same time. So for example, like my 90 days program, Shafir, we literally have several hundred ads running to promote that program, but these several hundred ads are targeting several hundred different target audiences. So there's women-owned businesses, there's medical businesses, there's that. So like every business that is buying that, so we're running all of those ads. And guess what's different in the ads? The words are different because doctors buy different to dentists. The pictures are different. The picture of a doctor, not the picture of a dentist. The picture of a female-owned business rather than a dentist or a doctor. And so all of these different things. So all of those ads are running at the same time. Now, if you're doing it to a database, you have to have a very well segmented database to be able to run more than one campaign at a time. If you're doing it as social media posts, you're going to have to target your posts right down. So in most cases, that requires advertising to target the post rather than doing it straight in the post and boosting the post type thing. So different ways of approaching different things. All right, let's take a look at, I've already given you a bunch, Samuel. Let me jump on someone else. Is studying marketing more important than studying entrepreneurship? Or because marketing is part of business, you can learn it online? I would study, I mean, marketing is part of entrepreneurship, okay? Marketing really is. Let's take a look. Aspire Music, thank you for posting up your posts. So I'm going to take a look at a bunch of this stuff here. Okay, you've got a bunch of great posts. And I'm trying to see if any of them are asking for people to raise their hand. Not that I can see. So, for example, what I would do in that scenario when you're asking people to raise their hand, sorry, I missed whose name that was. Aspire Music is Kate. So Kate, what I would be looking to do is pick one of your target audience. Let's say, and Kate, I'm assuming that kids, by the look of some of these posts here, I'm assuming that you teach children music as well, okay? So masterclass, placement, breathing, warm-ups, the singing, all that sort of stuff. So by looking at some of the things you do, I would be looking at putting together something like, you know, the 7 most important factors for children to become great singers. The 13 things every parent should know about introducing their child to music. And it could be a video, it can be a podcast, it could be a webinar, it could be a blog article, but it's your target audience and you're saying, hey, just wrote an article about how parents can get their kids really interested in becoming great musicians. If you're interested in the article, please type the word kids below. And all of a sudden now, Kate, you got a bunch of people who you know, they want their kids to be learning about music. And so if I get 20 parents who say, I'd like that article, please, I'd like that article, please, I got 20 parents to communicate back to take a look at what it is that I can do for them. West 34th Solutions. Let's take a look at some of your posts. There's a trip down memory lane and crazy much time you spent on branding isn't important. You can only pick colors late. Oh, so West 34th. Who was that? Let me pick name of West 34th was David. So David, I'm looking at your LinkedIn right here, okay? And anyone who wants to take a look at it. So you've got this amazing thing here, the brand strategy 101, 7 important elements of a company branding plan. I would change that whole thing up. See, that graphic doesn't grab me. It's just a lady looking at a computer. Okay, there's nothing on there. I would literally have the graphic using a lot of words with some brand of yours on it that says, just finished the article on 7 most important elements of a company branding plan. If you want the inside scoop for free, type the word brand below. You know, and then all of a sudden you're getting people typing the word brand and doing it. You got some great content here. You just got to ask people to raise their hand. As I scroll through some of your content, there's some amazing stuff. You just got to get them raising their hand. Okay, and that's really what you're looking for, is getting people to raise their hand. So, you know, do you already need to have a healthy number of connections on LinkedIn or social media before you can start to know? You do not. You need 5 people on there to ask them to raise their hand. You need 10 people. It's the philosophy, because you've got to start doing it. Now, here's the next thing I want to point out to you on this, because we've got like 5 minutes left. By the way, Gona, could you reinstate those offers so that everyone, oh, the 90 is up there. If you can just give everyone the book offer again so that everybody can get those, and make sure you get all of the links, team, so that you've got all of the links. Oh, aren't you the best? Gona has just messaged me. The book offer is there if you haven't got that. She has just placed up the digital marketing so that you can get the link for that. There was 5 of you. Gona is going to message you separately anyway, but here is the link for the digital marketing. You're the best, Gona. We think you're the best. We know you're the best. Great job doing that. So there's the link for that. Click that link so you can join me in May for the virtual Digital Marketing Masterclass. If you think we've covered a lot on marketing in the last 55 minutes, imagine how you're going to feel after 2 days of me teaching you all about the digital world and what we do in that digital world. All right, let me go back and see if I can answer any more questions that we've got on here. How would you start growing social media from scratch before releasing a product? That whole thing, Helga, get on the digital class. I teach you a whole thing of launch on there. I go through a whole process of how we launch new products and how we launch new programs. The launch process is really important for a lot of what we're doing in this day and age. The launch process is something that allows you to get people buying before you get on there. If you take a look at what Kickstarter does, really all Kickstarter is a launch process for a business. It's a marketing process. So get on that one, Helga. I will definitely teach you the launch process in that 2 days. I love launching new things, and that's the thing. All right. The 90-day offer. Sorry, Gona, what's that message? Okay, so the 90-day offer we will keep open until Sunday. The 90-day offer we will keep open until Sunday. I know some of you will want to go and talk to other people, and the university offer is until Sunday. Now, here's the last one, a free offer. Okay, let me go to the free offer. If you would like to meet with one of my action coaches for free, if you would like to have a free coaching session, your first coaching session, all of my team the world over does 5 pro bono coaching sessions per week. They work with 5 business owners for free every single week to help them grow their business. If you are serious about growing your business, the very least you want to do is take me up on the free offer. So in the chat window right now, I'm putting a link, okay? Go to that link, work with one of my coaches, chat with them, learn about it, get a knowledge base of how you can grow your business. Growing your business is a lot easier when you have a coach in your corner, someone that knows what they're doing that can help you with it. Appreciate you coming today. Look forward to chatting to you again at some stage in the very near future. Keep raising your hand. Keep growing your business. Make sure you're on my newsletter. Make sure you start studying my 90-day program. I can't wait to see the results of you 90 days from now once you've studied that, or once you're working with a coach or doing whatever you need to do. Watch the recording. Keep making notes. Share this with as many people as you can. Take care. I'm Brad Sugars. Look forward to helping you again at some stage in the near future. Bye for now.